What if the world never believed in you and you had to build your dream in total silence? What if success wasn't about luck, but about surviving every storm when no one was watching? Every legend begins the same way, as a nobody, unknown, unnoticed, uninvited. But somewhere, deep inside, there's a voice that whispers, "Keep going." Most people stop when it hurts. The great ones, they keep walking through the fire until the fire becomes their light. Today, you'll meet 5 people who refused to quit, people the world ignored, mocked, or left behind, and yet they became unstoppable. By the end, you'll see, you don't need permission to become a legend, you just need to refuse to stop. Montage trailer teaser. Narrator: a failed artist who turned his pain into color, a street cleaner who built an empire, a student who couldn't speak but changed how millions communicate, a forgotten soldier who became a healer, and a girl who rebuilt her village from ashes. 5 nobodies, 5 flames that refused to die. Because legends aren't made when people are watching. They're made when no one cares. Main lesson number 1. The painter who sold his soul for a dream. His name was Luca Moretti. Born in a small Italian town, his father told him, "Art doesn't feed families." He painted anyway, every night in a damp attic, mixing colors with rainwater because he couldn't afford paint thinner. Galleries rejected him. Friends told him to quit. He burned his own paintings for warmth. One night, standing in front of his last blank canvas, he whispered, "If this one doesn't sell, I'm done." But something happened that night, something no one expected. We'll come back to that. Main lesson number 2, the street cleaner who built a business empire. Rafael Cortez swept the same streets every morning for 12 years. He wore broken shoes and people didn't even look him in the eye. But every morning at 5 a.m., he listened to business audiobooks through a secondhand phone. He started writing down ideas on napkins, better cleaning tools, smart waste bins, eco routes. Everyone laughed, but he kept studying. Open loop number 2, one day a mistake at work changed everything, and it turned into the start of his empire. Main lesson number 3, the silent student who spoke to the world. Her name was Amira Khan. She grew up shy with a severe speech disorder. Every time she spoke, words stumbled and cracked. Teachers said, "She'll never lead." But Amira loved technology. She learned to code in secret. At 19, she created an app that allowed people with speech difficulties to express emotion through AI voice tones. But there's a story behind that app, a heartbreak that made her build it in the first place. Main lesson number 4, the soldier who became a healer. Marcus Hayes spent years fighting wars no one remembers. When he came home, he couldn't sleep, couldn't smile. The medals on his shelf meant nothing. He started helping other veterans heal, not with medicine, but through storytelling. He built Project Echo, a network where soldiers could speak without shame. One by one, broken men found their voice again. He realized sometimes the greatest warriors are the ones who choose peace. Main lesson number 5, the girl who rebuilt her village. In a remote valley of Nepal, Maya Rai watched her village crumble after a flood. No power, no schools, no hope. Everyone left, but Maya stayed. With no money and no degree, she started teaching kids under a broken tin roof. When people laughed, she smiled and kept going. She taught with chalk made from crushed stones. And over time, one child became 10, 10 became hundreds. Today, her school stands as a beacon, built from the ruins that once buried her dreams. Open loop payoff number 1, the painter's last canvas. Remember Luca, the painter who was about to give up? That final night, he painted something different. Not beauty, not perfection, but pain. He painted his exhaustion, his loneliness, his truth. Days later, a tourist passing through town saw that painting and bought it for 50 euros. That tourist turned out to be an art curator. 6 months later, Luca's work hung in a Milan gallery. Within a year, his paintings were selling worldwide, all because he stopped painting to impress and started painting to express. Open loop payoff number 2, the street cleaner's mistake. Raphael once forgot to lock a trash container after cleaning a block. The next day, trash spilled everywhere, and he was suspended for 3 days. But that mistake gave him an idea. What if bins could lock themselves when full? He built a rough prototype using scrap metal and magnets. It worked. Within 2 years, he founded clean loop systems, now used in over 40 cities. Sometimes the moment that breaks you is the same one that builds you. Open loop payoff number 3, the app born from heartbreak. Amira built her app after losing her younger brother, who had the same speech disorder she did. He passed away before he could ever say, "I'm proud of you." So she created a tool that could let voices like his be heard forever. Today, her app, Echo Speak, is used in hospitals around the world. She turned her silence into sound and gave others the voice she never had. Final payoff, core message, the hidden thread. Luca, Raphael, Amira, Marcus, Maya, 5 stories, 5 storms, 1 truth. They didn't have money, they didn't have connections, but they had refusal, the refusal to quit, to let failure define them, to let pain be the final chapter. Every legend begins in the dark, when no one claps, no one calls, no one believes. And in that silence, if you keep going, the world eventually listens. Practical blueprint, the code of the unbreakable. Rule 1, don't chase approval, chase truth. Create from who you are, not who they want. Rule 2, every failure hides a seed. Find it, plant it, and water it with patience. Rule 3, build something when no one's watching. That's where identity forms. Rule 4, pain is your compass. It points directly to what matters most. Rule 5, finish the story. Even when it's hard, finish it, because someone somewhere needs it. Emotional closing, the flame that never dies. So maybe today you feel unseen, forgotten, tired of fighting for something that no one seems to understand. But remember, the fire that keeps you awake at night isn't random. It's purpose knocking from the inside. Luca's brush, Raphael's broom, Amira's code, Marcus's voice, Maya's chalk. Different tools, same mission. To prove that the human spirit cannot be silenced. One day your name will stand for something too. Not because you were chosen, but because you refuse to quit. So keep walking, keep building, keep burning. Because even if the world forgets you for a while, the universe always remembers those who never gave up on themselves. Fade out. Gentle heartbeat, soft music rise, silence, narrator, whisper. Every nobody has a story. Every legend was once one of them. Now it's your turn.